How's everybody doing today? I'm gonna work on the Fishing Surfer RC boat. This is my old one here. It works great, but unfortunately fell over, had a big hole. So I managed to find another one on the secondary market, but one of the motors wasn't working properly, and I also switched the latch. For some reason on the yellow one it pops up, and on the red one it would pop down. I prefer this version because it'll stay down even after you drop the bait. So right now one of the motors isn't working properly, so what I'm gonna do is show you guys how to remove, well, actually install it. I'm gonna remove it off this red one here, since I had just purchased a new motor for this one. Pretty simple tools that you'll need. It's only 3 wires. It's right in there. That's the brand new motor I had just purchased before it got damaged. So I'm gonna show you guys how to remove it and what you need to do just to install a new motor in case you need one on your Fishing Surfer. So pretty basic tools, easy stuff you gotta remove. So I already disconnected it. It's 3 wires that need to be disconnected from the motor, and once that's off, you basically just have to take this guard off. This part right here, there's nut holding it, and this part right here, and the whole thing will just slide off. So once that slides off, you bring the motor out, and we're gonna do the same thing on the yellow one and install the new motor. So let me see if I can get a good angle. Basically just removing all this parts, and I'm gonna keep this one for parts just in case I damage anything on the yellow one, and just save it just in case. So I have switched the motors on these before, so it's pretty simple. You know, the smaller your hands are, the better, since you have to get your hands inside. But let's see if I can get you a better look. So it's basically just taking these off here, and the whole motor will slide right out. So, see if I can get a good angle there. I did save exactly what I needed from the last one, so these are the appropriate sizes, but it is still pretty simple. Just keep in mind it has been in salt water, so you know, make sure you have WD-40 handy in case some rust does build up on it. But this one wasn't too bad, even though it's been sitting for a while. So you want to save all the little parts just in case you might need them later. Whew. since this is the motor we'll be installing, we need to save all these parts. And once those come off, there, you have your motor here, and this is what's gonna go on the other one. And it's pretty simple. It's only 3 wires. So I'll show you how to install it on this other one right now. Okay, so now that we got the motor out, the red one, I'm going to disassemble the yellow one to attach it. Just one thing I did not mention was this part on the inside. It's being to hold the screws, so it's right there. So when you reattach it, just make sure you line it up. It comes off real easy, and it's easy to reattach from the inside. Just also, you have these water lines where water flows through it, so if you disconnect it, make sure you reconnect it. I made the mistake of forgetting to connect it once, and my boat got flooded with water. So right now I'm gonna disassemble it and remove the motor and install a new one real quick. It's pretty simple, pretty basic. Let's see if I can get a good angle. We got that off. We can get this part off here and start the installation process for the new motor. Also, there's a zip tie inside holding the wires and the motor together on the inside to the base. Make sure you take that zip tie off carefully without damaging anything of the wires inside. So this is pretty basic. Try to get a good angle so you guys can see. It's pretty basic, real simple. not want to budge. It's almost there. One thing I do recommend is you do not disconnect the wires. It doesn't really matter which wires go connected where from what it seems like, but it's very confined, so do not disconnect the wires. That way you can pull one wire out at a time and connect the new motor. It makes it a lot easier to be able to hold on to the wires, and just as you disconnect one, you connect the other one. That way you don't have to be reaching in and trying to find the wires underneath everything. So yeah, once that's out, once that's disconnected, you can reach in pretty much. Let's see. Yeah, pull it out. So this is the motor we're gonna be replacing. For some reason it gets stuck. I'm gonna go through it just in case. Maybe I can use it for parts or I can salvage it. But yeah, it is very confined. And there is zip ties holding everything together inside. So just be careful disconnecting those zip ties. You don't want to damage anything on there. You don't want to accidentally and yeah, the first time I did this, I had difficulty reconnecting the wires because I unplugged everything, and then I struggled to bring them out from where they were supposed to be connected. So now we'll be replacing this one, and I forgot to take these parts off. Make it easier to install. So it's pretty basic. You just do everything in reverse. It's all the same stuff. Let me see if I can get you guys a better look. So all the wires there. Alright, sorry about that. My GoPro died. But yeah, it's pretty simple. Once you install, get the new motor in. Let's see. Yeah, so basically this was the old one. This was the old motor right here. It's just 3 wires. And some of them do look corroded. Looks like moisture wasn't dried properly, so maybe that's why it's malfunctioning. I'm gonna try to clean it up, but I already put the new one in there, and all I pretty much got to do is just connect the 3 wires. I pulled them all out just because I wanted to check something else, but it's still pretty simple. And you just basically reassemble everything backwards the way you took it off. It's not that many parts. So now once you get the motor through, you just do the same thing in reverse. Tighten everything up. So it's pretty simple. And these are pretty simple bolts to work on. So I do recommend investing in the oil to keep your parts from corroding. The first one I purchased, I did not buy the oil. I was using WD-40 to be cheap, and it was not preventing it from rusting. So once that's on there, you can tighten up everything. I'm just using these pliers that I had in my box. You can use whatever tools you have. Make sure you just tighten everything up. Just be careful, because you got to remember this is plastic. You don't want to break it. Just make sure it's tight. And yeah, basically that would be it. Put your propeller back on. And I am using the old propeller, but I will keep the other one as a backup just in case I do break it or things do happen. So yeah, basically that's it. Once this is on, just install the wires, and yeah, I'm good. But you can also make sure you match it up with the other motor that you have on the other side. So once that's done, you're good, and you're good to go. Okay, so let me show you guys the final step. So you can reach underneath and pull the wires out to be able to install the motor. So these are it right here. And once you have them out, basically you just connect all three of them. You can just pull them up one at a time. I just can't hold the camera and do it at the same time. Let's see. But it's pretty simple. I'll connect them right now, and should have the motor working already, and then I'll just reattach the guard and everything back. So there it goes, hooked up all three wires. I do recommend some needle nose, because these wires do play hide and seek. The second you let them go, they pop right back underneath. So once all that's set up, pretty simple. I'm just gonna power it on, make sure that it's working before I install the guard on it. And we're just gonna test it out. Let's see. Make sure everything is good. I don't know if I brought the right remote, since I do have two. Let me get the other remote. I think I brought the wrong one. So there we go. Just put everything back together. You just got to make sure that you did not disconnect that water hose, because water will get into your boat. But that's it. For some reason I did have to calibrate the remote again. Ready for the bait drops. I'm about to start getting it back out. And like I said, I did switch this part, put it on the other one, save it for in case I do need to replace it later. But there it goes. Pretty simple. Just 3 wires. Switch out the motor on it. Now it's ready to go. So see you guys out in the water. And if you do need the video on how to calibrate the remotes to the boats, send me a message. I'll gladly send you a link, or I might post it up onto my page.